My name's Robert Dooley. I'm the Dean of the College of Business. I am a 1983 Philosophy and Religion major grad from UTC. And I am a I think it was 1989 MBA grad from the College of Business. And I've been Dean for 5.5 years. And prior to being Dean here, I was Dean of Graduate Programs and Research at Oklahoma State University. Probably one of my most favorite moments was my first Dean's Council meeting. So that would have been a little over 5 years ago. I walked into the Dean's Council meeting, and Dr. Herbert Burhan was the Dean of Arts and Sciences, and Dr. Burhan was my undergraduate advisor. So it was really an honor and a privilege to be able to sit at the Dean's Council with him, and I joked with him and said that it was a good thing that memories fade, because I'm not sure he would have supported me being Dean, but given my undergraduate. But that was great. That was great. As a kid growing up in Athens, Tennessee, I could never have imagined traveling where I've traveled, ever. Couldn't even have picked it out on a map, probably. Right? So I've gotten to go to the Middle East. I've spent time in Oman. I've spent time in the UAE. I just can't imagine. Interestingly, I'm going to start off by saying where I haven't been. Interestingly, I haven't spent a lot of time in Europe. So I've been to Europe. I've been to Spain. I've been to the UK. I've been to Germany. But I haven't gone to a lot of places. I've been to Amsterdam. So I've been there. But I haven't traveled extensively in Europe, which is, I think, a little uncommon, because most people, that's kind of the first place that they start having their travel experiences in Europe. My first real international travel experience was in Romania, so in Eastern Europe, and we spent 4 weeks in Romania, and that was the first real intensive international travel experience I had, and we were working to set up chambers of commerce in Romania. And so I'll share a little bit more about that, but it really highlighted to me kind of the impact you can have traveling international personally, the impact it has on you personally. So we're in a country that at the time virtually had no resources, right? So you go in a building and there would be one light bulb. That's the only light bulb in the building that would work, right? No heat. So we were there in January, February, so it was really, really cold, very little heat. Hard to find gasoline, and we were traveling by van, and it was really hard to find gasoline. And so experiencing that had a really kind of a profound effect on me. We were sitting in a meeting with some village elders, and they started crying because we were there and we were from the West. And this village elder started telling us a story about when he was a child, that he had hoped that the U.S. would liberate Romania from the Nazis, and that we were the first Westerners to ever come to his village. And so that just has a really profound impact on the way you view the world and you view yourself in the world. So spent a lot of time in Vietnam. Started going to Vietnam in 1990. I guess it was 1998. Was my first trip to Vietnam. Kenya. I've spent a lot of time in Kenya over the past 9 years in Kenya. Yeah, so in 2007, while at Oklahoma State, the vice chancellor, which is the president, effectively, of Moy University, came to Oklahoma State University. His PhD was in agriculture from Oklahoma State, and he asked the university to work with him to develop a USAID grant on food safety, basically. And so we put together a group of faculty from business, agriculture, human ecology, where they did nutrition, and we wrote this USAID grant for, basically, it was for sub-Saharan Africa, so it was Kenya, it was Rwanda, it was Tanzania, it was kind of a cluster of countries, but we were working with Moy to develop that. Then in 2008, the financial crisis hits, right? Government funding stops, so that USAID grant never was funded. And the Vice Chancellor at Moy came back to Oklahoma State and asked if the university would become involved independent of the grant. And I went to my dean at the time and said I'd like to go to Kenya to see what we could do to work with Moi University. She said fine, so myself and another colleague went to Kenya in 2008 and met with Moi and developed a faculty development program. And it resulted in, I don't know how many PhD students we've finished in that program now, quite a number. But it's given me the opportunity to go back and participate in the graduation. But hooded a number of PhD students in Kenya, which is fun. And then in December of 2013, I received an honorary doctorate from them. So that was great. I got, if you've never seen wow. So our graduations, I don't know, how many people come to our graduations today? How many, I mean, we may have in there a few thousand maybe? Okay, so envision 60,000 people attending a graduation, or 70,000. So you got thousands of graduates, but then their whole villages come. So if you're a student and graduating from a village, and the whole village comes, so buses after bus after bus, and it's a day-long celebration with music and food and dancing. And anyway, that was interesting. This is going to sound strange, but I think in some ways it kind of makes you understand or reflect more on. It's going to sound strange, but it really kind of makes you reflect on how insignificant what's going on in your day-to-day life sometimes really is, right? So getting out beyond, we can get so immersed in our own issues, our own problems, our own day-to-day lives that we don't realize that there's more out there. And there's in some ways nothing more liberating than being in a country where you don't speak the language, you don't know anyone, and you realize that you're just one of billions of people.